sense of urgency out there. You have a short period of time to put a lot of stuff together. How is everything coming together? Are you on schedule, you think?
Well, it's hard to say at this point. I will tell you, this group really does like each other. They really do. They genuinely enjoy being around each other. We do have a connected group. We don't have a lot of experience in the Big 12, but we do have college basketball experience on our roster. So I'll tell you what it's going to be is like, how quickly can we adapt to the physicality as a group. That seems like this team's really is going to have to. We've got good speed. We've got good skill. I like the way our guys can move. It's just it's such a physical nature to winning in the Big 12. That's what we're really going to have to work toward getting better at.
Coach, with Darren Williams, just what's he bringing to the table? I know that you mentioned his assist-to-turnover ratio and all that stuff earlier in the offseason, but just how's he looking and where are you at with him?
Yeah, no, Darian, as a freshman, had such an impactful year. Averaged over 30 minutes a game, led them in rebounding 3-1. What he is he's a utility guy. He can really do anything, and he's been our best three-point shooter percentage-wise in scrimmage play. So it's been nice to have a guy who does have composure, but he's also got a physical nature to him. We know what's coming, right? And a guy like that who enjoys making the right play and doesn't have to shoot it to impact the game is really, really a big part of winning. And so Darian's gonna play a big role for us.
For a guy like
a lot of your players don't have the experience in the Big 12. As a coach, when you experience.
I mean, really, honestly, make practices as physical and as hard as we can make them. Without having people miss time, and have a sense of urgency at everything you do, and really put them in a position where they have to compete and give ultimate effort in order to be great. We just can't have any casual days. Every day is going to have a lot of intent and a lot of physicality.
You're 30 days away before you get an exhibition, bringing back an old Southwest Conference rival. What is having Red Raiders taking on Texas A&M in the exhibition and being able to see where you are right there?
Yeah, that was obviously done intentional. We have scrimmages. We can't talk about when those are and who we play until afterwards. We will have one prior to that against an opponent, but that game to me really needed to happen for a couple reasons. One, I love being in the Metroplex and having our Red Raider fans be able to get a glimpse of the team early. Two, they're an NCAA tournament team. They obviously have those kind of expectations with their team this year, and I think it'll just give us a great test so that we know where we need to improve. And then obviously playing at North Texas, I think will be a great opportunity to bring attention to that program, which I was a part of and love those people. So I think it's a really great opportunity for all three of those things.
What kind of jump do you want to see from Pop Isaacs from year 1 to year 2?
The biggest thing is decision making and making the right play, and how he's Pop Isaacs is competitive. He's tough. He wants to win, and as you know, winning sometimes is like how to utilize your teammates best, and that's where I want him to continue to grow, where he's got a great recognition of all other four guys on the floor and what we need to do as a team to win. And then he's done a great job in the offseason with the weight room. I mean, I do think he's got a more physical approach to how he's playing the game, and thrilled to be able to coach him and excited about his leadership.
Going back to the schedule for a minute, the full schedule got released for you guys. What stands out for you as the coach?
Man, that we've got a tough non-conference schedule before we get there. Big 12 is going to be what the Big 12 is. It's obviously not anything that we dictate. It's handed to us. We don't choose it. You play who you play when you play them. And I do know this. We've got a lot of preparation to do in order to win it. The teams I've been a part of the last 2 years have had the best road neutral record in the country. And so I just know that we're going to have to be a really connected, tough defensive group if we're going to have a chance to win like we want to in the Big 12. So we've got a lot of time in order to put ourselves in that position. I know we do start on the road at Texas. And so, what better way to start the league than to go to a rival and go play on the road? I think that's a good test to start Big 12 play, but it's a long season. We just got to prepare to get better every day.
It's a matter of physicality. How do you become physical? Is it a matter of simply size and strength? Is it effort? You've got certain limitations in terms of size, so could you talk about that?
I think practices have to have as much physicality as you can in scenarios where they couldn't get hurt, and that's difficult to do. But a lot of it is putting pads on them. You know, on every rep, they got to have a pad on them. They have to feel some sort of physical pressure. And every shot opportunity that we have in practice, even if there's not a live segment, they still have to go and create contact against a pad. So it's just like everything you do have an intentional physicality to it. So they just get used to putting their body on someone or putting their body on something in order to create contact. Because rebounding's such a big deal, and physical play defensively without fouling.
How does Joe help that process of teaching it to everybody?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, Joe already has a physical presence. He's played enough games in the Big 12 to know that, like, you got to go guard the ball, and the point of attack defensively is most important. And Joe definitely gives us a great starting point and a good anchor to our defense.
Was it a conscious effort to have this many guys from the West Coast on your team this year?
No. No, the conscious effort was to find guys that we felt like wanted to win and had experience winning, right? And how do you do that? All the transfers played in the NCAA tournament last year, and so, you know, where they ended up come from relationship-wise, we did have, when we recruited Warren, that helped Domino, some of the other guys. Darian Williams had known Pop, who was on our roster. They had been around each other in Vegas before, so relationships definitely helped to initiate it. And obviously Devin having played with Warren helped us in that process of him coming here. But really, it was more trying to find the right fit of guys that wanted to be here and wanted to win.
Coach, speaking of Warren, just how do you feel you guys are with the depth in the bigs? I know you have Warren, who's probably going to start for you guys, but just how do you feel about that whole group as a whole?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I mean, like, part of it is like, how do you bring people along and make sure that you get the most out of them, knowing it's a long season. And in this league, and you watch, I don't care what level you watch, when you get to the end of the games, usually end up seeing a lot of smaller basketball. You know, people trying to defend on the perimeter, the switchability. And so really then it's about how do you team rebound. So people can get really concerned about that component of it, and I think that's a big part of it. But if you can team rebound, you can mitigate some of that lack of size. And so I think we got to be prepared to win a lot of different ways. But I love our roster. I mean, I think there's enough depth at that spot that we can play through the season and feel like we can be strong at the end of the year.
Who have you seen the most growth from when you came until today?
Lamar Washington's really made a big jump. You know, I mean, I'm excited about Lamar. I think he's made a big jump. He continues to get better. You know, he's a guy that's been a part of this program and decided to stay. He's got some versatility. He's got some physicality. He can make great decisions. He's been fantastic.
What do you see from Kai Ron?
Yeah, Kai, having already played in the SEC, having been from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I was around him, being close to him, seen him play. His physical abilities are exceptional. And really the biggest part for us is, like, how do you learn what we want to do in order for us to win? And I think just his maturing and understanding how you win the game as a team is going to be what really impacts his ability to play in games. But I love his physicality and I love his skill.
What does Chance bring to this team?
Chance is a dynamic player in the open floor, and he really can shoot it. And if he can space the floor and make a simple play, I mean, that's what I love about our team. We just got a lot of guys, I think, that can impact winning, and Chance is a perfect example. Like, how do you play within yourself, but when it's time to put pressure on defenses, you know when and how to do it. And that's where being together and practicing is so important. But Chance has been one of our most consistent players throughout all of the summer and so far into this fall, and I would expect Chance to make a big impact on this team.
Does it help that you brought in a couple transfers that have already transferred before, so they kind of know how to ingratiate themselves into their new program and new surroundings like that?
Yeah, I mean, nobody on this roster would be a part of it if I didn't think they believed that they could come in and impact winning. Honestly, like, we don't have anybody that's in here just trying to figure out how they can get their own and get out of here. I mean, we really have a great group of guys that want to win, and you know, that's important with this team. Is you don't walk on the court and see what can I do. It's like, what can I do to help the team? That's their mentality, and I love that. I love that about this group.
Coach, how do you feel your defensive scheme's coming along? I know that you hang your hat on that in your Texas. Just how do you feel this group is going to be able to execute that?
It's hard to say. You need to compete against other people to get a real feel for it, because there's scouting report, there's not just defensive scheme, but how do you scheme, how do you actually apply that against different strengths? And so they play against our guys every day, so you know what people's strengths are, you can kind of adapt it, but how can you adjust when you know the scouting report's different? And I think we're just going to need to play some games to really see where our defense is to know, but I do like our team athleticism and speed, and I know we need to improve our physicality.